Hello. We will be going to Copperbell Mines hard. Oof. It's been a hot minute since I've uploaded a video. But here we are. Copperbell Mines hard! This one is an optional dungeon. And it's part of the 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 duty roulette. No, not 90. It goes up to 80. But yeah, so if you're interested in doing that roulette, you would have to unlock some of these optional dungeons. So for this first part, I'm just pulling the front of the room, similar to the first version. But here we don't have to pick up any sand or anything, it's just straight up destroying monsters. Just a brief overview. This is the duty stuff, where we are, the things we need to do. I am the tank. Okay, everyone goes into this elevator, and then you use the lift lever to go down. As tank, I make sure I've got my tank stance on. This is the one for warrior. There's the mini-map. Yeah, so for this next pool, you can stop here at the front, but I just keep going, and the thing is, eventually those other ads will kind of back off. They'll like go back to where they came from. You'll see. See, this one's kind of going backwards. Just see, they're all over here. They're gonna come here and then go backwards because we're a little too far away. And so, if you're see, it turned yellow, so that means it's gonna go backwards. If you're trying to like speed run this and you don't care that much for the getting all the ads, then you can just keep running forward. This pool, actually, you can go all the way up to this wall here. This is rock. This rock. So you could have like went and pulled the entire room all the way to this rock, like here, and then just take care of the rock. And most of the enemies would back off. Back in the day, you used to get experience for all the enemies that you kill in the dungeon, but they changed that recently, and so there isn't as much motivation for a lot of people to get all the ads. So if you're familiar with the dungeon, then this is a faster way to do it. But yeah, so make sure you take care of the rocks. I mean, if you want to go slow, that's also fine, you know, whatever you're used to, if you're the tank. But also if you're not the tank and you're like the healer and you want to go a little slower, then you can always type in the chat to tell people. Most people are nice about it and they'll pull smaller pulls, but the tricky thing is if you're gonna go fast and then you have people who don't realize that and they're straggling behind, then they might take some damage, or they might stay back and then the enemies stay on them, and then you lose aggro, and then it gets a little sloppy. So you kind of just have to read the room, see how people are playing. Anyway, yeah. So far, there's been no place you can really get lost, so it's not completely straight, but it is straightforward in that there's only one direction you can really go. Okay. Here, yeah, there's this lever, but this has already been destroyed, so we don't need to take care of that. The normal version, you had to collect the sand and like you had to hit the rocks and stuff. Okay, so this is the first little boss, this guy, the mastermind. I'm going to pull all the way over here because there's going to be some fire that starts taking up the bridge. You don't want to stand in that. Okay, here, fire spawns at there's his feet. Okay, when I turn the camera, you'll see. Okay, here's just some extra big ads, but our little boss is over here, the mastermind boss. That's our actual boss. Okay, see, the fire that he was talking about before, is this fire stuff over here. So he starts throwing that stuff down. Here, dark fire. There, see? And then this thing. And now there's fire. So I always pull it everything over here to the end over here, and then wait until the fire is done before I go back over and I turn the boss so everyone is on his backside. Okay. But let me just wait to see that. Eventually I go over here. There's something else to take care of here. There. I go on the other side so that everyone else is behind the boss. See? Everyone's behind the boss, so I move over here. This is as far as the fire will go. So as long as you first start over here, then you just wait to figure out where the fire stops, then the tank can like move on this side. So everyone else is behind. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Because this is important too. This bomb, this fire bomb, flambeau, we need to take care of that ad. They'll keep popping up right here. If you don't take care of them and they like wander, or you just leave them, then they'll explode and basically wipe the party. See, if it does a self-destruct and we're all here in this big AoE, I almost said a bad word. If we stand in this big AoE, and while it does a self-destruct, then we'll wipe. And so that's why you want to make sure to take care of the ads pretty quickly as soon as they pop up. Which is also, in addition, why we want to get out of this area and just go to the end. You know, avoid the fire, but then also show up where the big fire bomb thing is. Yeah. That's pretty much it for this section. Nice. Okay, and we go down another elevator. But you just kind of just fall into it. There's no lever. Okay, in this section, you want to break the rock. There's going to be a lot of big ads too. And then also a firebomb. So make sure to take care of the firebomb because it's going to do its self-destruct thing. And then tanks, okay, see, self-destruct. Yeah. Tanks also pull all these big henchmen dudes. If you just take care of the collapsed wall, you can go through, but it gets kind of messy here. See, it is happening very fast with the bomb going everywhere. These big guys is kind of covering the screen a lot, but you definitely can prioritize the rock and just run through if you want. But not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people really pay attention. Like if they're not watching where the tank is going or any of the other party members, so just. It's better just to stay in the room and take care of all of it at the same time. Okay, so this next boss is a little tricky. There is a mechanic here where you're supposed to... Okay, you can straight up just attack this boss. Gogma Golem. But the damage is, it goes kind of slow. Look at this, it's kind of slow. But here's a person that gets targeted. Okay, also an ad popped up here. If someone is targeted, then what happens is, okay, you can't really see it here, but the boss turns around and does this big attack. We'll see it soon. Okay, so now CO is targeted here. Okay. Also, while that's happening, there's a big AoE that you don't want to stand inside of. And then also you want to get rid of the ads. But, okay, did you see that? Here, push. Okay. So that's, okay, there's Rock Slide, which is that big earth thingy that happened. Okay. So that's a cleave. It's a big cleave. You want to avoid that. Okay, I'm targeted now, so we'll see what happens here. Okay. Wow, you just hit me with this big rock slide thing. Okay. And there's also an ad somewhere throwing stuff. So you want to take care of the ads, and you want to... Okay, the plane cracker did hit me for a little bit. I'm the tank though, so I kind of... I do okay. But if you're not the tank, like, try to avoid that area. Okay, so the boss is gonna go all over the place. The mechanic that we're supposed to do is use this. There's this mechanism over here, improved blasting device, and then it spawns a bomb, and you're supposed to put the bomb in front of wherever the boss is running. Nobody did that in this fight because I couldn't do it because I had aggro and like I was getting hit with stuff and I didn't think I'd be able to trigger the thing. But also, okay, this looks a little messy. I was also getting the rock slide thing, and so see, I am like over here. I was trying to dodge the circle AoE, and now look. Because I was over here, he hits the rock slide thing, and if you look at everyone's health, they all kind of take damage because they're over there, so that was my bad. I believe the rock slide thing is specific to the tank, and then the targeting thing might be the ad. Wait, let's see. Let's see. Okay. You watch this while I read the thing. Dang, okay, yeah. I don't know exactly what the targeting one is, but I think it has to do with the ad. But anyway, okay, so there's this new move that can leave a bleed, so that one you definitely don't want to stand in. Watch. Earthen Heart, okay. This one, it leaves this like blue light thing. I run into it just so you can see, but yeah, I got a debuff, burns. So you don't want to run into that if you see that on the ground. Also, deal with the ads still. Okay, Earthen Heart, so that means that's another burn thing that will pop up. Okay, oh yeah, okay, so this ad was targeting that person. That's likely what the target is. Anyway, I did prepare a different video to at least simulate what this looks like. Hang on, dude. Okay, here, go here. This is me running this unsynced. So here, I grab the blasting device. Okay, I interact with it. A bomb shows up, and then you can even see here. It says use the bomb to destroy this thing. Okay, so I interact with the bomb. I pick it up, and then I run it in front of wherever the boss is about to go, and I drop it down, and then it will start blowing up. And then if you take a look there, it did some damage. Okay, I'm getting targeted. It's likely from that ad. So I'm gonna go to the blasting device again. Okay, I take care of that. So yeah, the thing is, whenever you're interacting with something, if you get hit with stuff, then there's a good chance you're not going to... Oh, okay, if you see these 3 little bomb things, you need to avoid those. What was I gonna say? Okay, well, let's just watch. Oh yeah, if you get hit while you're interacting with something, it will cancel the interaction, which is why it's a little difficult for the tank to do it. But it's okay. I brought the bomb there, and then now look, the boss has taken a lot of damage here. Okay, and I haven't hit the boss directly at all. I'm just straight up using the bombs. So this is the actual mechanics of the fight that you want to do to be more efficient. Like in the other run, no, I don't think anybody really used the bomb, so that's why it was taking so long. But there, I see this turn around. Okay, so I move the bomb near it, and then, okay, blew up. Get another bomb. Okay, you have 10 seconds to move it. Okay, I'm carrying the bomb. I put it in front of where I think it's gonna go. Let me watch. It's gonna blow up. And it took a little bit of damage. Yeah. So you can see I'm only using the bombs here, and the boss is already at like 50%. You just have to anticipate where it's walking, because it walks all over the place. Okay. Oh, look at this. 50%. It got hit. Okay. Did, 50 minus 34%. Was 16% of damage. So yeah, so that's how the bomb mechanic works. So if one of the DPS is like actively, or healer, whomever, is actually throwing these waymarker bombs down, then the fight can go a lot faster, in addition to other people doing damage and stuff. So that's how that works. Okay, so back to this one. Okay, Earthen Heart, that was the burn one. I believe eventually at least one person interacts with the bomb device. But anyway. Here. CO? Maybe? Okay. Okay, there we go. CO manages to put one bomb down. Okay, so afterwards, after the big guy dies, Biggie, the Spriggan, you have to take care of Biggie. Straight DPS is fine. Okay, there was some big AoE, like other thing that was gonna explode, so just avoid that one. Alright, continuing down. In the original one, this would be the really big pool, but here it's not so bad. You basically only have one path. You go down, make a right. Oh, it's a decent sized pool, okay. Yeah, so I pull everything. I believe that we can handle it, so I pull everything into this room. Okay, make sure to dodge AoEs. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I use my reprisal once I gather them all together. Reprisal will decrease the amount of damage that the enemies do for a few seconds. Yeah. It looks intense because there's a lot of them, and some of them are very big, but once you get more comfortable with tanking and controlling the crowd, it's pretty fun to do big pools like that. And again, if you're not comfortable doing bigger pools, either as a tank or as a healer healing, then just let the party know, so everyone's on the same page. And if they're mean about it, then that's more their problem than your problem. You just try your best. Okay. So good. Okay, now we go to the final boss. The final boss room, there's also a unique mechanic in this one that I think not a lot of people know about. They kind of just throw damage down and just bear with it, but I will explain it. Okay. So similar to the normal version, I hang out. Typically, I would say, oh yeah, go to the north side, like go run through the boss and hang out on the north side and turn it around. But for this dungeon series in specific, I usually take the boss over here to the right side, and I hang out on the rocks. Why? Because there's some stuff that happens in the middle. An abyss worm emerges. See, okay, so most of the sand usually looks like this, but there's some cloudy, dusty sand right here. That's a worm moving around under the sand. Okay. Okay. This AoE, get out of that. And I hang out around the rocks because if I'm gonna dodge the AoE, I don't want to be dodging it in the sand area where the worm is running around or like digging around underneath, you know? And so hanging out in this rock area, I can take up this kind of space, and then on this side, everyone else can hang out on the back of the boss. So, yeah. Okay, an enemy approaches. That is this guy over here. It's not the worm. There's another thing. It's like over there. Okay. There's this crystallized rock here. There's also one over here, and there's a few over there. Just notice that. I'll explain it later. But yeah, there's some ad over there that they're taking care of. And then also this worm has been going around. Okay, see, there was an ad over here. There's also a crystallized rock. Okay, dodge this. An enemy approaches, so that means there's another ad. But then also, okay, because at some point, let's see. Here. You see the worm moving around in the back? This line of dialogue, the worm is searching for fodder. If you don't do anything about this, then eventually the worm will suck everybody into the sand, which you'll see in a second here. Like this. Okay, because it's looking for food, and then you need to sprint out. Everyone takes damage from that. You need to sprint out back onto like the rocks, so the worm doesn't like get you more. Yeah, see, it takes a lot of damage. Also, these ads, you can't really tank them. They will attach to like whomever when they pop up, and so you have to take them down pretty quickly. Let's see. Okay, see here. These two have targets on them. An enemy approaches. We're gonna get 2 ads here. Here we go. 2 ads. They're gonna come out from over here somewhere. You see. And then they're gonna attack these 2. And so we need to take care of that. And then also the worm is searching for fodder, so we need to take care of that. But yeah, straight DPS for these guys. Okay. Hold up. So, the way that we deal with the worm going around, okay, the worm is searching for fodder. I got a crystallized rock here, there's one over here, there's one over here, and I think there's one over here. When I see this dialogue, not the tank, but probably DPS or somebody, because the tank will be moving this boss everywhere, you want to go to a crystallized rock. See, also what I was mentioning earlier, if you get attacked, your interaction gets interrupted. So that's why it's harder for a tank to be doing the mechanics, is better left for a DPS to do mechanics, possibly even the healer to do the mechanics, but it can get tricky if you're the healer doing mechanics, because if you're doing the mechanic and someone's getting damaged a lot, then they could possibly die. It's a whole thing. So if you're playing DPS, this would be a good time to practice doing mechanics. Anyway, so when the worm is looking for fodder, as in food, you go to a crystallized rock. Okay, I almost got hit with that, but I ran out just in time. You interact with the thing, the rock, the crystallized rock, and then now look, I'm carrying this little rock. It's so cute. And now here, I'm transporting. Oh, my sprint ran off. Okay, I'm transporting the thing around now. This is my interaction thing. So if I click this button, I use controller, but still, if I click this button, I drop the rock. Okay, but I want to put the rock near where the worm is in the sand. As soon as I put it down, you can see. Okay. I click this. I'm not transporting it anymore. And now the rock is sitting there. Okay. Once I put it down, the worm catches the scent of the crystallized rock. And so that means it's gonna go eat it. Now watch carefully. The rock is there. Oh, there we go. The rock disappeared. And now there's this big explosion thingy. That's because the worm jumped up to eat the rock. Okay? Yeah, the abyss worm devours the crystallized rock. Here's his bullet. Okay? So that's how you handle that mechanic. And then again, as tank, you know, I'm kind of getting hit with all this stuff. I did this on sync by myself, so that's why I'm getting hit with all this. The targeting thing goes to this ad, but the ad can target anybody. And the tank, you can't tank it away from them. It just goes to them, so you need to take care of them. But yeah, specifically, once again, here. When the worm is searching for fodder, you go to a crystallized rock, you interact with it. If you're getting hit with something, try again, or if you're the tank, like, just tell someone else to go do it. And once you grab onto it, you transport it and put it in the sand area, drop it off, the worm will catch scent, and then the worm will go eat it. Okay? So that's how that mechanic happens. If you don't do that, then this swirling thing will happen, where everybody gets sucked into the middle, and then the worm tries to eat them, and see everybody's starting to get more damage, and then you have to run out. It's a whole thing. The red mage almost died. So yeah, that's the fight. It's kind of a lot. We were able to take care of everything without doing the crystallized rock mechanic with the worm, but yeah, if you want to be a little more efficient, then you would do those mechanics. And so the biggest thing, I think, is to make sure you're hanging out on the side of the stage like we are, so you're not in the middle getting hit by the worm. And then once you see those ads, just take care of them really quick, because the tank can't pull aggro from it. And yeah, that's Copperbell Mines hard. Good job. I have nothing else to say. There's a lot of other hard versions of fights, so if you're still hanging out in a Realm Reborn, or you wanna just try out different dungeons, there's all sorts of things to do. And yes, happy holidays, everybody. I got my graphics card fixed, so I'll be making more guides soon. Alright, have a good one. Bye bye.